So I thought I'd take a second to introduce you to how the framework of what I believe society is built on. And it's really a desire to figure out how it is that we think about there being a straight line between who we are, how we show up in a moment by moment, day by day basis, and being able to draw a straight line from that person to what they experience in their lives to what we experience in our world. Like, we should be able to see ourselves in the world, and right now we just frankly cannot. So I call this the you, yours, ours model, right? What's you, if you were to think about yourself at the very, very center, that's going to be like your beliefs, your habits, your relationship to yourself, which is the anchor to everything else that goes on, both in your life, in our communities, but also in our world. Next, you have what's yours. That's going to be like your relationship to your life, things that are going on in your life, whether that's your activities, whether that's your work, whether that's your relationships. That's where the rubber meets the road in terms of decreasing the space between how you feel on the inside and how people and the world experiences you on the outside. And then lastly, there's what's ours, which is going to be more so like this social change conversation around how it is that we create mass mobilization, how it is that we think about our worldview or our politics or our global citizenry. All of that should build upon itself to go from your relationship to yourself and the thing that you're constantly building and changing and tweaking and evolving, and how that then creates the communities that we're involved in, and then how those communities are able to experience things that they're then able to demand from the larger world. So each week, not only will we be talking about kind of, whatever is the crux of this madness that's going on in the world for sure, but it's also going to be about how that is connected to this constant work that we're doing in each of these different buckets of our lives. Now, sometimes you can be somebody who's going through a phase and you're like, I'm honestly just mostly squarely focused on cleaning my shit up in here within myself. Do that. Or you're somebody who's like, I'm actually working on my relationships right now because I realize that there have been a whole bunch of unspoken agreements that I have been a party to that now I'm trying to walk back because I feel like I'm not fulfilled here anymore. Totally possible. Or it's what's ours, which is clearly the onslaught of news and politics or whatever you want to call it, that we're just trying to kind of like navigate through. Now, you could be squarely focused on one. You could be focused on a lot of different areas at one time, the you and the yours, the ours and the yours, the ours and the you, whatever. But this is really an attempt to be able to kind of build your own path, dig into this resource, this toolbox, and pick whatever the different things and modalities you are that you need based on whatever your unique journey is. But also recognize that we are in a community of people who are all engaging in that work at every single turn, right? Because it's weird to me that even though we have a lot of, podcasts, self-help, whatever, which this, I wouldn't classify this as that. But it's weird that we haven't figured out how to have a collective conversation in real time about what it means to apply who we are to this moment. And so I am building the plane as I fly. A lot of it will be imperfect, but it's really more so about figuring out how it is that we all identify and prioritize our unique messages and our unique vocations, as opposed to figuring out how we numb ourselves and hide from our own reflections in a moment that feels like we're spiraling. So, you, yours, ours. Welcome to society.